The Fed said they're going to slow their balance sheet runoff yesterday at the FOMC. They left rates the same, however, but that statement alone tells us that the money printer is coming back soon. Slowing that balance sheet runoff means that there is less liquidity leaving the system, which is basically propping up the market. So this is good news here. It won't hit the market immediately, but when it does, it is going to be supportive of our favorite assets here at Trade Cave. So I'm actually quite happy to hear that the Fed is going to significantly, and it was pretty significant. They're going to move it from 25 billion of runoff down to 5 billion of runoff, which is a huge reduction in their balance sheet runoff here. So this is actually going to be very supportive of the market when it kicks in. We also had jobless claims come in today. It says that as per Reuters, jobless claims rise marginally as labor market remains stable. That's not really good for rate cuts, but that is good for the household in America. So it's one of those things where you feel kind of torn. So they had, 223,000 jobless claims came in today with 225 expected. We also have leading economic indicators coming out later today. That's something you'll want to pay attention to here soon. Let's take a look at how it's affecting the market here. So you can see that today we're climbing actually. Okay, so we opened up pretty far down and it's starting to climb. At least this QQQ, the one that I've been trading lately. I like that. However, Bitcoin's been pretty flat. Okay, now I know this is a 15-minute candle, so it looks big. So let's go back to a daily. On the daily candle, we're down 1.36% today. We went as high as 87,400, and we're back down to 85,600. So we are slightly above the 200-day moving average, which the FOMC yesterday got us slightly above that. Now, yeah, this kind of looks like a big green candle. It's a $4,000 candle, 5% up. But it's not quite enough to really, one day doesn't make a trend. So we are getting away from this consolidation here. That's great. If today's candle can close above the 200-day moving average at 85,697, and then open tomorrow's candle above that level, we'll be feeling better about getting to the 50-day moving average at $89,000. Once we're above that, I'm going to start feeling a lot better about coming into back into some of the Bitcoin related assets, possibly coin, maybe MicroStrategy. I've been looking at Core Z a little bit. Maybe I'd consider going back to IREN. Maybe Mara's on my list. I am looking. I hate to say it, but Bitfarms does interest me at about $1 because there's not a lot of downside risk at $1 as long as they don't go bankrupt. Oh man, my internet is atrociously slow. So at $1, there's just not tons of downside risk on Bitfarms here. So I am looking at it to potentially make a move up, maybe to the 50-day moving average, potentially touching the 200-day moving average at some point in the future, as long as Bitcoin is being supportive of that. We'll see. We'll see what happens here. I may or may not get involved in this one again here. It's just a thought right now. But I am looking at MicroStrategy. I am looking at coin. I'm looking at MicroStrategy to come back up to at least $340, maybe come up to like $380, $390, something like that. But we'll see. This could end up being a nice double bottom right here, and if that is, then we're definitely going to be coming up into the 360s, maybe 370s again, and then that's where I'd be looking for it to roll over and potentially, cut my trades there. Solana hanging out in the low 100s. Ethereum hanging out under 2,000. Like, we're getting a lot of just consolidation right now, and that will eventually end up in explosive moves. We just don't know when at this time. Solana came down as low as 112 there, and it's kind of just hanging out in the low 100s. We'll see what happens. XRP in the mid 2s, Doge down in the teens. They're just kind of hanging out, waiting for a reason to move. They haven't gotten one yet. I have been purchasing VRT. You can see on here, I have been purchasing VRT. You can see all the momentum indicators are showing that it's looking good. I have been picking up Tesla down in these ranges down here. It's really low right now. Let me turn off some of these drawings. We don't need to see those. Yeah, it's been really low. I've been picking it up between 220 and 250 on Tesla. I'm hoping that that will prove to be a good decision. It is how far off the highs? How far off the highs currently? We're about 52% off the highs, off the all-time highs. So, I mean, that's a pretty good discount range for Tesla. There's a lot of political firestorm, a big political firestorm surrounding this one right now, but eventually it'll probably cool off, and we'll see what happens. It really just takes the CEO to, chill out for a minute and stop getting so involved in everything. Focus on your company for a couple of weeks. Let my stock go up. I started getting re-involved in Palantir again yesterday. I sold a cash secured put for 77.50 strike, which is kind of all the way down here at the bottom of the range. The bottom of this range here, I'll draw it. The bottom of this little range right here between 90 and 75. So I'm kind of near like the lower end of that range. I got a few $100s for that one. I sold it out a couple of weeks, about a month or so. What else am I looking at? SoFi. I've been picking up SoFi in this range. I'm saying a lot today. Sorry. This box down here was my buy zone. So once it hit this box right down here between $11.60 and $10, I started buying, and I haven't stopped. Now this could look like a bear flag. This could end up looking like a bear flag right there if it breaks to the downside. And if it is, that's going to suck really bad, because it's not just going to stop at this 10. It's going to come all the way to critical support. If that's the case, critical support being at 864, and that would really, really hurt me quite a lot. So hopefully this thing starts to break out. Another one I want to bring to everyone's attention here is American Airlines. Now, American Airlines got beat down pretty badly recently off of recession fears, off of people, reports that Americans are planning to do a lot less vacation here this year. So that dropped pretty dramatically after a huge run up for many months or weeks. We came down about 45% and it's starting to bounce now. If we get back above up here, we start moving our way above this 13 EMA here towards the 200 EMA up here at 14.15 here. That'll be pretty exciting for American Airlines. This one could potentially be a good low cost practice on selling cash secured puts. It actually has a pretty decent premium on American Airlines, at least it has in the past. So this is one to put on the radar as well. It's beaten down pretty bad. It's one of those ones that gets supported by the government whenever it looks like when things get pretty dicey. We've seen an epic run up recently from the region where we currently are right now, all the way up to $19. That would be almost a double up from where we are right now on American Airlines. Now, that's not saying that that's going to happen, but there's historical precedence for it to move from this region here. I mean, it's done it twice, right? It came from this $10, $11 range up into the high to mid to high teens on multiple occasions here in the past for American Airlines. This is kind of the range that it likes to do. You can see that basically it's come down to these ranges before and gone all the way back up to $18, $19 in the past couple of times. Something to pay attention to, something to have on the radar. Should American Airlines be this cheap? I don't know. This does look like a bear flag, so a little bit of caution right there. It does look like a bear flag, but it also looks like the market is fairly supportive of this one around that $10 mark. So if you were to sell a $10 cash secured put, which would be $1.35 out of the money, as long as it closes by your expiration at $10.01, you would keep all that premium. So that's something to keep in mind. And of course, nothing I say is financial advice and not a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any asset whatsoever. Just some thoughts, some ideas when I look at these different charts that I have on my watch list. Let's see, is there anything else we want to talk about today? Not really. That's pretty much all of it for the day here. Meta's doing pretty good. Might have to go look at that here in a little bit. So the Fed came out. They were supportive. We are getting soft jobless claims. Inflation has been coming down. So things are looking up. It's been pretty quiet for the last couple of days about the trade war. So hopefully that's getting worked out. That gets worked out. I think we're going to see some real support in these markets coming out. And that's pretty much it right now. It's just kind of a waiting game. I'm just doing a bit of a waiting game right now. I want to see what's going to happen. I want to see Bitcoin start to climb up. I want to see some of these miners show some signs of recovery. They're showing light signs, but they haven't really done tons yet. So we are just kind of sitting and waiting for now. I've been parking my money in companies that actually make money versus losing money right now because that is what you do when things get dicey. Don't invest in things that are losing money. Anyways, that's all I've got for you today. Please like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Check out the Trade Cave store, link in the description as well as the channel bio, and have a profitable day.